Next up in the radical Japan set, we have number 145 in the Radiance range, which is Death by Hanging. Now, I enjoyed the first film, The Catch, in this set, but I really preferred Death by Hanging. I found it to be monumentally fantastic right from the start. It gives you an idea into Japan at the time. It gives you an idea of a vote that was just made about executions, how many people voted for, how many against, how many abstained, and then it goes on to show this barbaric process. We get to see them setting up the death of a convict. They are giving him his last stripes, giving him his last meal, taking him to hang in this rather shockingly banal area of the prison.
右板の上に立たされた死刑囚は、直ちに一人の死刑執行人によって両足の膝を布で縛られ、もう一人の死刑執行人によって口上を首にかけられる。
They take this man, they string him up, they pull the lever, and he drops. And that's about it. Nothing else happens. He doesn't die. Somehow, he manages to stay alive. And that is the crux of the film. Technically, he has been executed. What did the people do? And we're left with this complex ideology of what do they do now? The bureaucracy is leading these people to go one way. The idea of this execution has been done. It just didn't work completely. So can they do it again? Is that within their rights? Then they have the character of R, who wakes up and has amnesia. He doesn't remember who he was. He doesn't remember the things that he has done.
で、どのくらいで治るもんでしょうか。
わかりません。波のショックじゃありませんからね。死刑が失敗して記憶を喪失した例なんてどんな本にも書いてありませんよ。
So is this the same person? Can they execute this person when he doesn't really know who he is? It asks all these questions, but it does it in such a fun, shocking way. And I say fun because there is lots of absurdist humour throughout this. It is pretty much, and it feels like a few hours after the event, trying to figure out what's going on, maybe a day or so. And it uses this dark comedy and it uses the absurdity to dismantle the idea of this is just an execution.
監視よって右薬刑により同情して間もなく同所で窒息死するに至らしめ。
One of the most ridiculous and funniest moments is having the prison guards recreate the crimes that R did, as you realise how horrific these crimes sound, how absurd and silly it is watching these people replicate and try to get him involved within it as well, how we see the guards' frustrations in the not knowing. You know, everything follows a pattern, and this pattern has been completely broken.
彼にはもう R 君の心はないんだ。心がなければあなた方はもう彼を R 君だと言えないはずです。もちろん刑の執行もできません。
The idea of religion, of self, of justice system is all tackled in this film, and tackled in such a way that it makes you think, it makes you sit up and pay attention, and it keeps you entertained. Some of the favourite kind of ways to deliver a message is to wrap it in something that is truly entertaining, that is educational, that holds up a mirror to society, and is truly shocking. It takes wild turns later on as it gets into the film. It becomes crazier. Characters start to morph. Situations become skewed and twisted in a really surreal manner, and that just adds to the absurdism of the film.
もっと朝鮮人らしくどぎつくやってくれ。どぎつく。あ。シャーシャーシャーシャー。
One of the more interesting aspects of this is how the depiction of Korean people is portrayed within this film. It is exaggerated, it's over the top, it's taking the worst traits of a certain group of people and heightening them to a ridiculous fashion. But the people who are making fun of Koreans don't really see how ridiculous their idea of that is. But it just leans into the film's thematics of how do we look at each other? Do we see each other as individuals, or do we see each other as part of the state, part of the process, part of the institution? Do we just see that as of another country and we don't need to understand? We'll just do things that we don't quite understand and we'll make fun of that. Even aspects like that are thematically something that I can attune myself to and understand. Fascinating film. Really just a fascinating film. Really great. Really entertaining with a lot to say, which was a terrific balancing act. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for Death by Hanging. Let's go to the special features. We have a commentary by Sam Deehan. Then we have Yang Yongi. In this interview, filmmaker Yang Yongi, a second-generation Korean resident in Japan, discusses Death by Hanging, its real-life inspiration and how the film deals with Japan's attitude towards its Korean population. Filmed exclusively for Radiance in June 2025, and this runs for 20 minutes 58 seconds and was really insightful, focusing on how she discovered this film, how it had a real impact and opened her eyes to some of the perceived slightness of her people within Japan. How the film was such an awakening for her. It was such a terrific film, and when she thinks of Ōshima, how this is the movie that stands out in his filmography. And to be honest, it's a really great film, and it's nice to see that kind of idea behind it of someone who was affected by the film and affected by themes within the film as well. Next we have Yunbogi's diary. On a research trip to Seoul in 1965, Ōshima took numerous photographs of street children living in dire poverty and used these images as basis for this montage film, addressing Japan-Korea relations. Yunbogi's diary would have been a profound effect on the Death by Hanging, and this runs for 24 minutes 37 seconds. And as a film made up of pictures with a narrative put over the top of it, it is exceptional. And only 25 minutes, it really packs a punch and is an absolute standout and a must-watch on this disc. And that's the extras for Death by Hanging. Here we have it. Second film in the Radical Japan set is a winner. I preferred to The Catch. I like The Catch. I'm really curious to see where the other films in this set go. I can't wait to dive into the next one, and I'll be back with a review for that. But I want to know, have you watched more of this set? Is there any more films that are better than Death by Hanging? Did you enjoy Death by Hanging? Let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. However you feel, I want to know your thoughts on this one. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.